Most people are spraying plain rosemary water on their scalp and wondering why their hair feels like straw and isn't growing. But after doing this for a full year, this is the exact Ayurvedic green blend that actually stops excessive shedding and thickens thinning edges. And before anybody comes for me, I'm not saying rosemary water is bad. Rosemary can absolutely be incorporated into a good hair care routine. But sometimes the problem isn't necessarily the ingredient, it's how you're using it, what you are combining it with, and whether the rest of your routine actually supports your hair. Because if you are constantly putting a water-based herbal spray on your hair and your hair is already dry, you can't be surprised when your strand starts feeling even drier. So today I'm showing you the combination I've personally been using and tracking for over a year now. Hi bloomer, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cynthia. Let's just get right on with today's video. If you are dealing with postpartum shedding, a thinning crown, or stubborn hair growth plateau, this video is your cheat code. We are covering the extreme thickness benefits of Moringa, the circulation power of rosemary, and the hidden moisture secret of fenugreek. And I really want you to stay until the end because I'm not just going to show you how to put these three things together and call it a day. We are actually going to talk about why these ingredients are in here, how to prepare them, the different ways you can brew them, the science behind this, and most importantly, how I use this in my actual hair routine. Because making the tea is one thing, knowing how to use it properly is another thing entirely. Why this is different, we are not just making a random kitchen recipe. I'm going to show you how one ingredient acts exactly like a natural minoxidil and how another fits your roots like a topical multivitamin and how to apply it without drying out your strands. Now, I want to be very clear about something here. When I say an ingredient acts like a natural minoxidil, I'm talking about the role it plays in supporting the scalp environment and circulation. I'm not saying the mixture literally is minoxidil or that it can replace medically proven hair loss treatments. Those are two different things. But I do believe there is a place for simple ingredients when you are using them intentionally and consistently as parts of a proper hair care routine. I've tracked this routine for over 12 months, so grab your notebook. Let's look at the ingredients, the science breakdown, and exactly how to brew this for massive density. Let's get into it. Now, let's break down the science behind these three ingredients because each one was chosen for a reason. Let's start with rosemary. Rosemary contains compounds like rosmarinic acid, casonic acid, casonol, which gives it strong antioxidant properties. It's also known for its circulation supporting properties, which is why rosemary has become such a popular ingredient in scalp and hair growth routines. So for me, rosemary is the scalp and circulation powerhouse of this blend. Then we have moringa. Moringa leaves are packed with nutrients and plant compounds, including vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, flavonoids, and phenolic compounds. And when we are talking about the scalp, antioxidants are important because they help protect cells from oxidative stress. So I like to think of moringa as the nutrients and antioxidants powerhouse in this blend. Then we have fenugreek. Fenugreek contains saponins, flavonoids, protein, polysaccharides, and mucilage. That mucilage is especially interesting for the hair because it gives fenugreek that natural slippery conditioning quality. So fenugreek is bringing that conditioning, sleep, and moisture supporting components into the blend, and that's why I love these three together. Rosemary gives us the scalp focus and circulation supporting properties. Moringa brings its nutrients and antioxidant rich plant compounds. Then fenugreek gives us the conditioning and moisture supporting quality. So we are not just throwing random herbs into water. We are combining three ingredients with different properties that complement each other. And now that you know what's actually inside the green blend, let's make this liquid green gold. I've perfected two different methods for brewing this depending on your lifestyle. The infusion method for the patient people who want maximum nutrient preservation, and the boiling method for the impatient people who need their hair tea ready now. The quantities are flexible based on how much you want to make, but here is my signature high potency ratio. I use about 1 tablespoon of dried rosemary leaves and 1 tablespoon of fenugreek seed, and a generous handful of fresh moringa leaves. Make sure you wash your fresh moringa leaves thoroughly first to remove any dirt or debris before adding them into your clean glass jar. Also, don't feel pressured to make a massive batch. I actually prefer making smaller batches because this is a fresh water-based preparation without commercial preservatives. For method 1, the infusion method, bring your water to a hard boil. Here is the secret to a high quality potency. Do not drown your herbs. Pour just enough boiling water over the mixture to cover them. This creates a highly concentrated extraction. Seal the jar tight completely to trap the volatile oils and let it steep for at least 1 hour. The reason I like this method is because I'm allowing the hot water to extract the compounds from the herbs without aggressively boiling everything for an extended period. So if you have plans to use this tea spray, prep it ahead of time so by the time you are ready to use it, it won't be in a haste to use. Okay, give it that time to steep. And once you are done, allow it to cool, not completely, until it's lukewarm before straining. However, if time caught up with you, here is the second method, the boiling method, the impatient way. Put the exact same ratios directly into a small pot with a small amount of water, but don't put your moringa immediately. This part is important. Bring the rosemary and fenugreek mixture to a boil. Turn down the heat instantly and let it simmer for about 3 to 4 minutes before adding your fresh moringa. Let the moringa simmer for a few seconds, then off your cooker. Let it cool, not so completely lukewarm, before straining. And please don't be tempted to apply it while it's still hot. Your scalp does not need hot tea. Let it cool before straining it properly and then transfer it into a clean spray bottle. So now we have our tea, but making this tea is only half of the process. The next question is, how do I actually use this? Because I use this also in 2 different ways. I use it as a tea spray before deep conditioning, and I also use it as a tea spray when my hair needs moisture, especially when my scalp is already in a protective hairstyle. Not necessarily, just when I need to moisturize. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do both. When I'm ready to deep condition my hair, I use the tea as a tea rinse. After cleansing my hair, I apply the tea thoroughly throughout my hair and scalp. I work in sections to make sure it reaches my strand instead of simply sitting on the surface. But in this case, I already have my protective hairstyle, so it's getting everywhere. I like using it before my deep condition because the tea is water-based, so it adds moisture first and its nutrients. After applying the tea, I follow up with my deep conditioner. The tea isn't replacing my deep conditioner, it's simply an additional step I incorporate beforehand. And I like this because I am not creating an entirely separate routine just to use the tea. I'm simply adding it to something I'm already doing on wash day. Do you understand? Now, when my hair is in a protective hairstyle and needs moisture, this is where I use the tea as a tea spray. And I don't just spray it all over my hair and call it a day. I work gradually. I start by slightly dampening my hair with this tea using my spray bottle. Obviously, I don't want to soak my protective hairstyle. I just want to introduce enough moisture to my hair. Then I follow with my leave-in conditioner. I work it throughout my hair, focusing on the exposed part of my hair, that's my hair shaft, not my scalp, and distributing it as evenly as possible. Depending on how my hair feels, butter is optional, so I use butter in this case. This is my DIY butter that I made. If you want to see how I made this DIY butter, use the link on my screen. If I feel like I need that extra layer, I use a hair butter. If I don't, I skip it. Then I finish by sealing with oil. So my process is tea, leave-in, butter, which is optional, then seal with oil. And I like doing it this way because I am not putting oil on dry hair and expecting the oil to provide moisture. No, oil does not provide moisture. I'm starting with my water-based tea, following with a leave-in conditioner, adding butter if needed, and then seal with oil. And because my hair is already in a protective hairstyle, I don't need to be heavy-handed with any of these products. A little goes a long way. In case you're wondering, is that all? No, it's not all. It didn't end there. After applying the tea to my scalp, I use my scalp massager, my electric scalp massager. You can use your fingers, you can use your manual scalp massager. I use it to massage my scalp for about a few minutes, and I'm very gentle with this. I'm not scratching my scalp or aggressively dragging the massager through my hair. I use it gently and let it do its job in motions and take my time moving it around my scalp. The point isn't to massage your scalp for 30 minutes. A few minutes is enough for me, and that's basically how I incorporate this herbal tea into my routine. It's not about using more and more of the tea. It's about consistency and knowing how to incorporate it into the routine you already have. And also, if you think there is a need for you to add oil on your scalp, go ahead and add oil on your scalp after misting your hair with the tea. Add oil to your scalp before massaging. That's totally fine. Now, before you run off and make this, we need to talk about storage. Listen closely to this storage warning because fresh herbs will spoil. Since we are using fresh moringa leaves, fenugreek and rosemary leaves, this tea must be kept in the refrigerator. It will stay fresh for about 5 to 7 days max. Do not leave it on your counter for days because this is a fresh water-based preparation without commercial preservatives. And if it starts smelling off or looking unusual, don't try to save it. Throw it out and make a fresh batch, because when it comes to anything you are putting on your scalp, fresh is always better than forcing an old batch. Do you understand? I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment or your thoughts in the comments. YouTube thinks this video right here is what you need to watch next, and I will see you in my next video. Ciao.